Every year, the Academy leaves behind a trail of overlooked masterpieces that deserved their moment in the spotlight. Today, we're counting down 10 films that were unfairly denied the title of Best Picture. It was just an accident. A group of survivors confronts their tormentor in a tense, claustrophobic drama that questions the heavy, soul-crushing weight of seeking justice. Jafar Panahi blends reality and fiction to explore the lingering trauma of political prisoners, refusing to offer the easy satisfaction of a revenge thriller. It is an exceptionally crafted tale about the messiness of human emotion, where humor and horror sit side by side in the face of systemic cruelty. The film's final moments are a devastating indictment of power, reminding us that some wounds never truly close. An exceptionally crafted tale of former political prisoners that uses biting humor and tragic tension to expose the lingering, soul-crushing weight of trauma. It was just an accident. 10th place. Eddington. A small-town mayoral race descends into a paranoid, hallucinatory nightmare that captures the fractured, bitter soul of modern society.
These are your streets.
No, they're your streets to keep safe.
Ari Aster delivers a contemporary Western that feels like a fever dream of political rot and social decay, where the pandemic is a ghost that refuses to stop haunting the living. It's a cynical, pitch-black comedy that suggests our greatest threats aren't outside forces, but the neighbor standing right next to us. The film is a relentless, provocative assault on the American dream, leaving nothing but the dust of our own making. A provocative and relentlessly bitter contemporary Western that paints a hallucinatory nightmare of social decay and political rot in a world that offers no forgiveness. Eddington, 9th place. Challengers. A high-stakes tennis rivalry serves as the backdrop for a brutal, decades-long power struggle between three people who can only communicate through competition. The film is a kinetic, sweat-soaked masterpiece that treats the tennis court like a battlefield of sexual and psychological tension. It's a thrilling deconstruction of ambition and the cost of being a prodigy, driven by a relentless, thumping score that mirrors the character's obsessive heartbeats. It prioritizes the visceral thrill of the game over traditional romance, painting love as the ultimate contact sport. A kinetic, sweat-soaked masterpiece that treats the tennis court like a psychological battlefield, prioritizing the visceral thrill of obsession over traditional romance. Challengers. 8th place. Asteroid City. A retro-futuristic desert town becomes the stage for a layered, metatextual meditation on the human need to create meaning in an indifferent universe. Beneath the meticulously symmetrical pastel sets lies a profound grief and a desperate search for answers that science and religion fail to provide.
Actually, maybe my favorite character I've ever.
I don't know why nobody else liked it.
It's a film about the actors within the play, the writers behind the scenes, and the cosmic absurdity of our existence. It asks us to keep telling the story, even when we don't understand the plot, making for a deeply moving intellectual experience. A layered, metatextual meditation on the human need to create meaning, blending meticulous pastel aesthetics with a profound, cosmic search for answers. Asteroid City, 7th place. May-December. An actress invades the life of a woman whose scandalous past is frozen in tabloid history, sparking a cold, psychological war under the guise of research.
You're gonna represent Gracie as she was.
I'm gonna try.
The film uses a sharp, campy edge to dissect the predator-prey dynamics of celebrity and the way we consume trauma as entertainment. It's a scathing look at denial and the performance of innocence, where every polite smile hides a jagged edge of manipulation. The film refuses to provide a hero, leaving the audience to sift through the wreckage of 3 lives broken by a narrative they can no longer control. A scathing deconstruction of tabloid infatuation and psychological manipulation that forces the audience to confront the cold, predator-prey dynamics of real-life trauma. May-December. 6th place. After Sun. A daughter's grainy vacation footage becomes a haunting portal into the private grief of a father she can never truly reach.
Why don't you go over and introduce yourself?
Sophie, they're like old.
The film is a masterclass in atmosphere, using the mundane joy of a Turkish holiday to mask a creeping existential dread that only becomes clear in retrospect. It explores the impossibility of fully knowing our parents, viewing them as tragic, 3-dimensional humans rather than just protectors. The final sequence is a devastating emotional collision, a scream into the void of memory that offers no closure, only a lingering, beautiful ache. A crushing masterclass in atmosphere that uses grainy vacation footage to explore the heart-wrenching impossibility of truly knowing the private grief of a parent. After Sun. 5th place. Decision to Leave. An insomniac detective becomes hopelessly entangled in the orbit of a mysterious widow, blurring the line between a murder investigation and a self-destructive obsession. Park Chan-wook crafts a dizzying visual labyrinth where every camera movement feels like a heartbeat and every cut is a confession. The film prioritizes the slow, agonizing burn of longing over the mechanics of a mystery, painting a portrait of 2 people who can only truly see each other through the fog of a crime. It's a gorgeous, tragic descent into a love that functions like a death sentence. An intoxicating visual labyrinth that follows a detective's dizzying descent into a self-destructive obsession where love functions as a beautiful, tragic death sentence. Decision to Leave. 4th place. The Worst Person in the World. A wayward millennial drifts through the wreckage of her own indecision, searching for a self that hasn't been defined by the men in her life.
Julie følte seg som verdens dårligste menneske.
The film captures the terrifying realization that time is moving forward while you are standing still, blending whimsical visual flourishes with a grounded, painful honesty about aging. It's a vibrant, tragic portrait of the coming of age that happens long after you've grown up. It questions the cruelty of having endless choices and the paralyzing fear of picking the wrong one. A poignant and vibrant portrait of a wayward millennial navigating the terrifying realization that time is moving forward, while her own identity remains a work in progress. The Worst Person in the World. 3rd place. Come On, Come On. A radio journalist and his young nephew forge a fragile connection in a gorgeous, monochrome world of sound and soul-searching.
Disappointment and wonder.
The film rejects the feel-good cliches of family dramas, opting instead for a messy, authentic exploration of how we pass our fears and hopes to the next generation. It's a sonic tapestry that captures the beauty of mundane conversations, turning a simple road trip into a profound inquiry into what it means to be alive. It demands empathy not through grand gestures, but through the terrifying vulnerability of listening. A tender, lyrical inquiry into the human experience that captures the terrifying vulnerability of listening through the messy, authentic connection of a man and his nephew. Come On, Come On. 2nd place. Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always. A quiet, devastating journey of 2 cousins navigating a landscape of clinical indifference and bureaucratic hurdles,
Don't you ever just wish you were a dude?
All the time.
The film strips away melodrama to focus on the silent, agonizing weight of a young girl's choice in a world that offers no safety net. It's a masterclass in tension derived from reality, centering on a titular interview scene that feels more harrowing than any thriller. By the end, it leaves you hollow, questioning a society that demands maturity from children while providing them with nothing but obstacles. A raw and devastating journey that strips away melodrama to focus on the silent, agonizing weight of a young girl navigating a landscape of clinical indifference. Never, rarely, sometimes, always. First place. These 10 films may have been snubbed by the Academy, but they remain essential viewing for any true cinema lover. Which of these do you think deserved the win the most?